What's up, guys? My name is Jamie. This is the Blades and EDC channel, and today for you I have my reviews / overview of the EMP EDC Nymble X. This is an overview because I have no intention of hard using this knife, and I don't feel like I can do a fair review of a knife that I haven't taken out and really used and put through the paces. So these are just my impressions of owning this knife, fidgeting with it, opening packages with it, just basic use. I haven't taken this to work and used it or anything like I do a lot of the knives I review. So, and I'm not going to. This is, I'm not at a level where I'm going to drop $300 or $400 on a knife and go beat it up. You know, I haven't made it to that level yet. Probably never will. So, all right. Aesthetics. This is a sexy knife, man. This is a beautiful piece of hardware right here. You know, that's what originally sold me on the original Nymble, the look. It's just sexy. It's just beautiful. And this one's no different. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous knife. I absolutely love the look of the Nymble. The finish, the fit and finish is fantastic on them. The finish on the blade is gorgeous, beautiful. Not a fingerprint magnet. The scales are super comfortable. It's great in hand, whether you choke back or you choke up on that big finger choil. Jimping's taken out plenty far enough to where you get your thumb up there and hold it. This is they call this a sheep's foot or some kind of sheep something blade. It's a little different than what the spear point blade, but to me this is a spear point too, or a drop point. It's not really a sheep's foot blade, but that doesn't really matter. It is what it is. It's this shaped blade. So, yeah, as you know, I have had some difficulties with this knife. When I initially did the unboxing, I had the lock bar was getting stuck, and through my disassembly I figured out what it was. On the lock bar insert, I could see where there was a burr or something left on there, and it was gone by that point, and it had rubbed itself shiny, it had polished itself from me opening and closing it and using it, but it had really, really bad lock stick initially, to the point I was about to return it. I was really about to return it. And then you all know the fiasco with the pivot, which this is strange, okay? My knife was caked full of thermal thread locker, so much so it had squeezed up underneath the screw, and I had to heat it under a soldering iron for 5 or 10 minutes to get it to finally break free. And in the process, damaged my pivot screw. John is sending me a replacement silver screw, so free of charge, of course. So that I appreciate that. But you know, I've talked to a couple other guys that are friends of mine on Instagram about this knife. And one of them in particular, his pivot is backing out on him. It has no thread locker, 0 thread locker in it. And he's looking at his blade, it wasn't centered anymore, and he checked his pivot, and his pivot was super loose, and he took it apart, put some skiffs in it, and it's like, yeah, mine had no thread locker in it, 0. So I don't know what's going on with that, why some knives, like mine, were caked full of it, and some knives have 0. I don't understand. One thing that makes sense with that is somebody screwed up at the factory. I don't think they should have came with thread locker. The Nymbles and the thick boys didn't have it in the past, so I think there was a miscommunication somewhere, would be my best guess, but I don't know that. The knife has one other flaw, in my opinion. The detent. It is a super, super light detent. I've also got a little movement in here. You see this? Just a little, but you know, I can easily fell this knife because the detent is so light. See, very easily fell it. I can even do this, just shake the blade out. The detent is extremely weak on this knife. You know, with front flippers, I've noticed that a lot of times detents are weaker, but with the original Nymble, it had a good detent. You know, it had a really good detent. It wasn't too stout, but you couldn't just sling the blade out like that. My thought on this is, it seems like they did the detent the same way they did on the smaller Nymble. And if that's the case, you got a lot more weight here and leverage because of the additional length of the blade. Maybe that's why it's so weak. But you know, the lock bar doesn't feel loose or soft. You got to give it some force. So it's got to have, I don't know, just has an extremely weak detent. So much so that you know, you can literally easily shake, just do that and the blade flies out. So I don't know if that was intended to be that way. I have no idea. But I know that these guys are dropping more of these Saturday. Today is Thursday. Today's Thursday the 23rd. And on Saturday the 25th, they are dropping more of these knives that you can buy. Not pre-order. You can actually buy them, have them shipped to you immediately on the EMP EDC website. So I wanted to get this review / overview out before then to make, because I've had people ask me questions about it, what I think about it, and is it worth it? And what I will say is, to me, this is worth it. I love this. I love the look of these knives. I like the company. I will say that this one has been a little disappointing to me, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with what I spent on the knife. I could always try to improve that detent if I wanted to, but like I said, I don't intend to hard use this knife, so I don't think it's going to be a big deal for me. But you know, the other thing is the action was really bad when I got it. If you watched my original reel on Instagram when I first got this, when it still had the silver pocket clip on it and everything, and you watch me in that reel trying to do this, you can't do this. I was having to do those double, triple shake it to go down. It wasn't doing that. It was extremely dirty on the inside when I finally did get it apart, and had to clean it up and lube it. And after that, the action is fantastic. So yeah, something else I want you to be aware of is that, you know, it was dirty on the inside. Now the guy that I talked to who had no thread locker on his at all, I asked him, you know, was yours really dirty, have a bunch of black gunk in it, and, you know, it looked like tacky, dried up lubricant basically. And he's like, no, mine was really clean. So his was really clean and had no thread locker. So I don't know what's going on with that. It doesn't seem like there's any, seems like something's off somewhere. Like I originally said, something's off somewhere with whatever's going on at QSP. So, yeah, generally with a knife, you're not going to get them all exactly the same as far as action goes. Some detents are lighter than others. They're not 100% exactly the same. But generally, you do get, you know, the same. If they've got thread locker, they've all got thread locker, you know, that sort of thing. And with these, for some reason, that's not the case. Something's popping up on my phone. I'm just going to ignore it and hope this is still recording. But yeah, let me give you guys some size comparisons real quick. Just give you a general idea on the size of this. Here's the Spyderco Para 3. So quite a bit longer than a Para 3. Good size knife. Here's the Spyderco Yojimbo 2. Those are more closer in size to each other there. Much closer, the Yojimbo 2. Let's see, what else can we do here? Let's do the full-size Kaiser Sheepdog. Another close size comparison there. And just to give you an idea, in case you don't have the full size, you have the mini. There's the mini Sheepdog. And we will do the Penguin, one of my favorite knives of all time, which has a fantastic detent, by the way. Here's the QSP Penguin. So, yeah. I no longer have my original Nymble. I got the one with the black scales. It wasn't really my thing. I do want to get the original Nymble with this finish. And I did save my Mokatai kit from the black one, so that when I do find one of these in this silver finish like this, I can put my Mokatai kit on it and have them look the same. So yeah, guys, that's going to do it. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment sections below. I like the knife. It's not what I expected, to be completely honest, but I do still like the knife. And it's one of those things where it depends on the knife you get, I guess, which is surprising to me with EMP EDC, with the Nymble. That some are one way and some are another way. It's super surprising. But this right there, that's my biggest concern with, is how weak the detent is. It's almost non-existent. So, and super easy to fell it like that, or like that. You know, you can just barely The detent's just too weak, way too weak. So yeah. All right, guys, go ahead, comments, leave them below. Hit that like button, subscribe if you are new. Got a big giveaway coming up. If you haven't watched that giveaway video, you should watch that video. Watch all the way through so you don't miss any details. And that giveaway will be this coming Sunday, the 26th, I believe it is. And I'll see you guys on the next one.